Hello students. Today we will continue with our chapter 2, that is methods of inquiry in psychology, and take up our next topic, and it is survey research. So let's start with what is survey. A survey is a method of gathering and compiling information from a group of people, more often known as sample, to study their opinions, attitudes and societal facts. Surveys provides us meaningful data that can be used later. Initially, surveys were used for finding existing realities or baseline to find out the facts like literacy rates at a particular time or income level of particular group of people. But nowadays, we use survey method in inferring various kinds of causal relationships. The survey research uses different techniques for collecting information, and the ones that are given in your NCERT book are personal interviews, questionnaires, telephonic surveys, and controlled observation. As we have already discussed observation earlier, I will be taking up the rest three: personal interviews, questionnaires, and telephonic survey in detail today. Now, if you have a question like this in your mind, that why psychologists opt to use survey, the answer of this will be that with this research tool, they can collect data and describe naturally occurring phenomena that exist in the real world. Also, large number of responses can be obtained quickly, and that allows them to work with lot of data. So, a survey can be used to investigate characteristics, behavior, and opinions of a group of people, and researchers might present different scenario and then ask them how they might respond to that situation. A very good example of survey method is in your NCERT books, that is in box 2.2. A survey was conducted by Outlook Saptahik in December 2004 to know what makes the people of India happy, and it was conducted in 8 big cities. The questionnaire contained different types of questions, and the respondent they gave their views on 5-point scale. The first question was like this: are you happy? And respondents gave their views on 5-point scale. 5 for extremely happy, 4 for more or less happy, 3 for neither happy nor unhappy, and 2 for more or less happy, and 1 for extremely unhappy. So it was found that about 47% of people reported they were extremely happy, 28% more or less happy, 11% said they were neither happy nor unhappy, and 7% they fell in the last two categories, more or less unhappy or extremely unhappy. That was just an example. Nowadays, because of coronavirus and lockdown situation, people are staying at home. Do you have an interesting question to ask to people to know what they are feeling now and how they are coping up? Think of the possible ways to collect data. Questionnaire can be mailed or telephonic surveys also can be conducted. That was just to give you an idea that you too as a psychology student can gather meaningful data quickly by large number of people quickly and to know their opinions, attitudes and facts. Now let's discuss about the techniques that are given in your NCERT book. Let's first start with interview. Interview is generally conducted face to face, but sometimes it can also take place over the phone. It is a purposeful activity to derive factual information, opinions and attitudes and reasons for particular behavior. Interview can be structured or unstructured. In structured interview, there are list of questions that are prepared beforehand. Interviewer has no liberty to make any changes in the wordings of the questions or the order in which they are to be asked, and it mostly involves close-ended questions. Whereas in unstructured interview, there is no specific list of questions that are prepared beforehand. Interviewer has the flexibility to take decision about the questions to be asked, the wordings of the questions and the sequence in which questions are to be asked. It mostly involves open-ended questions. On the basis of combination of participants in an interview, we can have 4 different situations. First one is individual to individual, second one is individual to group, third one is group to individual, and the fourth one is group to group. Let's understand this. Now in the first situation where it is individual to individual, there is one interviewer and one respondent. In the second situation where it is individual to group, we have one interviewer who interviews a group of person. One variant of this can be focus group discussion, that is FGD. Third situation is where it is group to individual, where one group of interviewers they interview one person. And the fourth is group to group. It is the situation where one group of interviews they interview another group of interviewees. Interview method has its advantages and disadvantages. Let's first talk about the advantages. It provides us in-depth information and it can be used with children, adults and non-literate person, and it is flexible and adaptable to individual situations. And it also has some disadvantages. It is very time consuming, so may not be cost effective. And the next technique is questionnaire survey. Questionnaires can be thought of as a kind of written interview. It consists of a predetermined set of questions and the respondent has to read and mark the answers. They can be carried out by telephone, computer or by post. It provides cheap, quick and efficient way of obtaining large amounts of information from a large sample of people. It is useful for large populations when interview would be impractical. Two types of questions are used in questionnaire: open-ended and close-ended. Open-ended questions they allow people to express what they think in their own words, and rich qualitative data is obtained as it allows respondents to elaborate their answers of why they hold a certain attitude. There is no preset answer option and respondents put down exactly what they like in their own words. Close-ended questions in this type, their probable answers are given and the respondent is required to select the correct answer. An example of close-ended questions require responses like yes, no, true, false, multiple choice or using a rating scale that measures the strength of attitudes or emotions. For example, strongly agree or neutral or disagree or strongly disagree. So respondent is asked to give his views on 3-point scale or 5-point scale or 7-point scale or 9-point scale or 11-point or 13-point scale. In some cases, the participants are asked to rank the number of things in a preferential order. They are very economical and the information can be easily converted into quantitative data like counting the number of yes and the number of no's. But they lack detail, and in this there is less scope for respondents to supply answers that reflect their true feelings on a topic. Next technique is telephone surveys. As the name suggests, they are conducted through telephone. The telephone survey approach is usually utilized when there is need to collect information via public opinion. Phone surveys are ideal for data gathering as anyone from the general population can be a potential respondent. The primary purpose of telephone survey is to make valid, reliable and generalizable conclusions about populations on the basis of answers of sample respondents. It also has some advantages and disadvantages. Advantage can be it is very low cost and it is easy to collect valid data. It helps in reducing time. The disadvantages can be it omits person without phones and respondents, since they do not know the interviewer, they may become reluctant to answer and uncooperative and even give superficial answers at times. Huge differences in the psychological characteristics of respondents in their age, gender, etc. may also lead to biased kind of results. That's all for today. I hope this video will be useful for you. Thanks for watching.